Eli Owens,
What's up?
officially a Wolverine here on the New Blue Signing Day show, brought to you by our friends at Champion Circle. First of all, Eli, congratulations on officially becoming a Wolverine.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it feels like yesterday that you made your commitment to Michigan. You stayed strong, you stayed true. A lot of twists and turns, but you were always one of the diehards, man. What was it that made you know that Michigan was a place for you?
I felt at home. First visit I ever took in Michigan. I just was taken aback, and I was in awe of everything that there was about it, man. And from that point forward, everywhere else I went, it wasn't the same.
So you come up from Tennessee, though. I mean, you got to step over some schools, Eli, to come up to Michigan. You got to step over some SEC schools to come up to Michigan, man. And you had to hear about that from some folks down there. So how do you step over SEC schools to come all the way up here?
Oh, don't get it wrong. I definitely have heard my fair share of SEC bias. And back in the day, I was a big believer in it, but I think that it's just more important to where you feel comfortable and where you feel the most at home. And for me, that place was Michigan. It's always been Michigan, and hopefully, I can go be a star football player for them one day.
Yeah, and you play a position that Michigan values. And I feel like I wonder if that was something that kind of stood out to you that when you talk about the versatility of what you do, and how they value what you do, how they emphasize what you do. I don't know that every program, that every school, that every coach does that. Was that something that resonated with you?
Uh, yeah, that was probably the biggest thing that resonated with me. Like I mean, I consider myself a tight end right now, but I think I can do so much more than what a tight end does. Now, if that means going to be a
Hmm.
fullback, that means going to be a fullback, right? Um, but I just wanted to be somewhere where everything fit the way I wanted it to fit, and Michigan was just that. I like blocking. I like being a fullback, so it's somewhere that I can go. Be that fullback in an I formation or lead block for somebody, and get to catch passes here and there, along with getting a great education.
Yeah, man, it feels like because when I see you, I see Max. I'm sure people have told you that before.
Maybe just a little.
You, it's like that's you're the next Max. I mean, I'm not trying to put pressure on you, but that's who you remind me of. So, I mean, have you heard that before?
Yeah, only every day for the last year. But if there's anybody I'd want to be compared to, it'd be Max Bredesen. So I mean, I'm gonna walk in. Hopefully, he gives me his blessing, and I get to keep wearing 44 too. But only time will tell with that.
Yeah. So, what about this coaching staff, Eli? I mean, this is there have been some changes, some twists and turns there, but the culture is the same, and Coach Moore obviously has perpetuated that culture. So, what about him, and what was it about him that made you believe in him so much?
Well, I always thought he was going to be the guy. No matter what. Like back when I first committed, I was still committed to Grant Newsome as the tight ends coach and Jim Harbaugh as the head coach. But I knew that even if Coach Harbaugh or Coach Newsome were to leave, that the program wasn't going to change, and that was really big for me, making sure that I stayed, inside the program that I fell in love with. And Coach Moore, he embodies everything that Michigan stands for and everything that Michigan is.
Absolutely. And then obviously Coach Newsome, the coach that you connected with, still around, but now you had to connect with Coach Kasula, very familiar to us who have been around here, but you had to get to know him. What's the vibe like with Coach Kasula?
Man, Stevie C, I love the guy. He's great. I did a little bit of research on him. He took a UMass offense from 200 yards a game to 400 yards a game right before he came back, and I think that's wonderful. And I think he is somebody that I'm willing and eager to learn from over these next 4 years, and he's going to go call a great bowl game here in a couple weeks.
All right, so this team went down to Columbus, went down to the belly of the beast, Eli, and did something that no one outside of these parts thought they could do. I know that had to do your heart proud as a Wolverine now. I'm curious, first of all, how did it hit you? You know, how excited were you? And has that hatred of the Buckeyes, have you already sort of adopted that feeling?
Well, I will say down here in Alcoa, Tennessee, there's a little group of us that knew that Michigan was going to pull it out, and I figured from the beginning. You know, we've been outside of the second bye week. You know, after that, we've been playing exceptional ball. We put 50 on Northwestern, so I had a feeling that we were going to come in and we were going to turn some heads for sure. Ohio State hadn't been playing that good, you know. Anyways, and I felt everything was just, you know, coming together for us to perform the upset, you know, get everything. And sorry, I'm just a little tired. I've been doing homework all day. Got my Chromebook right here, but
I hear you.
I thought everything was going to come together and we were going to win that football game. And then what was the second part of the question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I say that, man. You adopted that hatred
Oh,
for
of
the
course
Buckeyes, man. It's like you got to have it.
Of course I have. You know, down here we take our rivalry very seriously. It's very similar to the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. Like my school during Maryville week, we crossed out all the M's. So, you know, it's a little bit of the same. And just being able to compete in something like that one day really, really fuels me. It really makes me want to be a Michigan Wolverine, especially when you get to take some punks from Ohio down.
There you go. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Excited for you. Excited for you and your teammates. So give me the calendar for you, Eli. What comes next? When do you get to Ann Arbor? Lay it all out for me.
I'll get on campus like 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know what day exactly. I probably should figure that out. But it'll be like between the 15th and the 20th, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. So you get the chance to practice with the team, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. You know, it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot to take in, but it's something, you know, I'm ready for and I'm willing to do. So.
How your parents doing, man? They ready for you to be away from home already?
Man, my mom, she's not taking it too lightly. You know, it's weird. We've never been apart, but I think she knows I'm ready for it. I better be ready for it if I'm going 7 hours away. But no, I mean, she's doing okay. I think she's finally glad she doesn't have to spend as much on food. But
right, somebody else has that bill now, right?
Exactly.
So, Eli, hey man, like I said to Bobby, appreciate you. I know when you came up here, came by the studio, got you here on this show. Whenever we call you, you always show up, man. So we appreciate you. Can't wait to see you once you get here to Ann Arbor. Good luck the rest of the way, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Anytime, my man. Anytime.